I love timing. We come on, and just we come on, that's when Starscream Wife was opening a bag of Sun Chips, which she is very much looking forward to today as we embark on finally the long weekend known as Easter. Actually, here, fun fact, we don't get a um, what do you call it? Spring break. We get an Easter break. So myself and all the schools and whatnot have all been in class since New Year's, which for us I think was January 4th, January 5th, something like that. That we went back. So it's been steady go until right now. It's been a long time, man. So very, very happy to be here. For those of you who do celebrate Easter, happy Easter. I hope that you have a tremendous weekend with your family, doing whatever it is that you enjoy most and relaxes you and helps to recenter you and all of that good stuff. Of course, it's Thursday night. I'm here. You're beautiful. That must mean it's time for GotBot Goes Live. As always, I am your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, man, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe while you're at it, loud of my baby. And hit that notification bell, please. It helps me out a ton, and it lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that up in the description or down in the description. Also down in the description. And if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. You can check us out on Patreon. You can see what we have to offer to you through spring. There's a lot of lines there. Or, of course, you can hit the join button right here on YouTube, baby, and become a channel member. Now, as I get things set up here, we're going to actually do our moment of silence this week. I can't believe 3 weeks in a row. First, it was an overdue moment of silence for Scott Hall, professional wrestler, for those that know, very influential. Then it was for like one of, I'll say, the most prolific voice actors in all of Transformers last week. And now, here tonight, it is for the late great comedian Gilbert Gottfried. So we're going to do our moment of silence while I get things set up for him, because you know what? I think all of us, whether we're a fan or whether we were like, that guy's annoying, I think we all know who Gilbert Gottfried was. Like he's been a part of our lives in some form or another, because you definitely know who he is, right? I will get things set up though. Let's see here. And of course, I will check in with you guys now in just a moment. For those just coming in, if you were wondering why we were being quiet, we were doing a moment of silence for the late great Gilbert Gottfried. I believe he was 67, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that's what I read. And I feel like I read that he was suffering from muscular dystrophy for many, many years, on top of a couple of other health conditions. Too bad, too bad. Certainly gone before his time, for sure. So all the best and deepest condolences to his fans and his friends and his family. Hey, Sovereign Knight, happy buddy that you are here. You were absolutely not late. If anything, you were here before me. Hey, Dragonfly, it's going, man. Look, I got the next 10 days off. Let's be realistic. I'm going to be working hard for you guys. I'm going to be working hard for you guys. It will hardly be off, but I am glad to finally get a little bit of a break. I feel like a lot of people in the world right now feel like they need a break. Like I feel like it's, I don't know, the winter, I guess, was a long stretch. I feel like a lot of people feel like they could use a break now. So it's nice to be able to get it. Hey, Slow, happy to see you here. Hey, Out About Logan. Hey, Blade from Portugal. Nice. I don't know what the time difference is, but I got to believe you're here kind of late in the evening. Hey, Waspinator. Let's see. Happy Thursday. Thank you, Lee. Happy Easter to everyone again, too. That's coming in here a little late. Hey, Paul. It's going to be I hope that people actually listen when I talk about Legacy Wave 2. Let's be realistic. If you're here, then you already know that I'm not a fanboy. I'm not going to come in here and say, oh my God, everything's amazing. I'm going to give you an honest assessment of it, based on my view. And there's good and bad. There's strengths and weaknesses. There is a lot to like. Now, I'll say one thing that I don't like, but it's kind of overarching, right? But mostly, well, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Hey, Devlin. Hey, Brian. How about the new Minnesota? We're going to talk about that later. Yep. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. Hey, Rob, you're probably going to be happy. I don't want to give anything away, and we're not going to be unboxing it tonight, but I might just have an animated or two coming up down the road a little bit. I know that you're big animated fans. There might be one or two up and coming, buddy. Hey, Shansi, I did not get a chance to look at that link that you sent me last week. I appreciate you doing it. Hopefully now this week coming up, I will get a chance to do so. As we go down here. Oh, by the way, I'm going to do this right now. I said earlier the week when we reviewed not one but two toy hex sets, that being the Sunstreaker and Trailbreaker from Earthrise sets. I said that they were provided to me by Ultra Megatronus. I was incorrect on that. They were actually provided to me by our buddy Joe Ford. So just a correction that I wanted to clear up there. Nothing against Ultra Megatronus. We love you. You are our lad, no doubt about it. But it was Joe who happened to send that, and I do thank him for it. I got to say, man, while they're great, I think the Trailbreaker one is stupendous. The claim of the yellow being a better match on Sunstreaker, I don't see it. I don't see how it's a better match. It's a different yellow, but I don't think it's a better yellow. I don't think it's a worse yellow. I don't think it's a better yellow. It's just a different yellow. But I've looked at it under multiple lights, and it's still not a match. Not on mine. Not the shade I got. I don't know. Maybe yours is. I have no idea. It's not bad. I got nothing against it. I got it on there now. I'm not going to take it off again or anything. I certainly have nothing against it. But after I had it put on, and same with his forms, I'm like, if you don't put it on, you're not missing anything. Let's put it that way. If you do, cool. What? I told you 1,000 times I'm not imaginary. Okay. Blue is not imaginary, for the record. He's a real boy with real feelings and emotions. 11 p.m. Oh man. Listen, I'll try and take it to just about midnight, and then you can go and you can sleep just like a peaceful little baby. I don't know maybe you're a night owl. I don't know. Hey, Triple R. Have you heard anything about that Lyle Kaiser project that you and I were keeping our eyes on? Because I have not. But you're my guy for that. You are my guy that I'm relying on. Hey, Caldio. Got SS Grinder. You know what? I have the blackout mold, but the Grindor got the better hands. There's no doubt about it. I love that mold. I think it is tremendous. It is absolutely every bit a leader. It is worth it. The helicopter is glorious. Good for you. Honestly, Caldio, good for you. Goodbye, man. Honestly, goodbye. I heard most of is Decepticons. Well, we'll talk about that a little bit, Blue. You definitely are imaginary. Playing Wolf. Is that? Oh wow. Wolf. Duel. Playing WoW. While having the stream. That's all right, man. Nothing wrong with that. That seems like a good Thursday evening, man. As we go down here a little bit. And if I'm skipping stuff, guys, I certainly apologize. Haven't seen or heard anything about it. I hope so. Hey, DJ. Ultra Megatrons, I was talking about you just a little while ago, and I gave the proper credit to Joe. Nothing against you. We still love you, buddy. You are still our lad. Me too, as well as Tarantulas and RC. As we go down here a bit. Hey, Marcus. Hey, Sam. Above all else, I can at least the most of the wave is Decepticons for once, Blue. Appreciate that. I'm pretty hyped about Legacy because it looks very promising. It looks something. We'll talk about it. Heard Target and Walmart are starting to get figures on clearance in certain areas. Interesting about that too. We're going to talk about that. There's a lot of interesting things to unpack here tonight. Pay attention, because I'm going to be doing some connecting of some lines and stuff, and we'll see. Meanwhile, I like wave 2 more than the first wave, says Mike. And curse my darn Wi-Fi. You keep popping in here whenever you can, Blue, and we're going to be right here for you, buddy. Okay, so we're going to dive into the news. Very first thing that I want to note is that Hallmark showed off their newest Hallmark keepsake ornament. I have explained it here multiple times on the channel that the Hallmark keepsake line is a tradition in our household. And I'm not going to lie, there's a part of me that thinks it's really cool. And there's a part of me that's super disappointed with this year's reveal. It's Optimus Prime. We got Optimus Prime. Now, I get it. A lot of people missed it. This is a completely different Optimus Prime. Every version that we've gotten the first 8 years or whatever it's been has been like a G1 toy. This is a very animation accurate one. It's a completely different thing. Did you run out of characters after 8? Is that what happened? Did you not think anybody else would sell after 8? I mean, I want it because it's a tradition, but I'm not going to pretend that I saw it and got super. I saw Hallmark keepsake revealed, and then I saw it was Optimus. I'm like, why? Looks good, looks great. I'm sure I'm going to get it, but why? There's so many great characters not done yet. Why? I don't know. I don't know. Like it's fine, but it's not what I would have picked, and it's not what I really want, to be honest with you, from the line. We saw more images also from the YOLO Park Playmo Optimus Prime. Yeah, okay, we get it. Just release the thing for people. Stop doing a bunch of pictures or videos or round tables or whatever of it. Like, we get it. It's an impressive model kit. Got it. Moving on. Looks great, but like I've never before felt tired of seeing pictures of something upcoming until now. This is the first time, and I'm like, it's glorious, it's beautiful. There's no doubt about it. But like, I've seen enough. Let's have somebody get this thing in hand. Let's see what it actually is like going together. Let's see what the details like. It's just okay. I've seen enough pictures. It's cool, man. It's cool. I get it. Menasor looks promising or funny, Marcus. Oh, you crack me up. Looks like rumors were right and wrong about Menasor being a combiner coming with different multiverse. Although, right, like I said, I'm not getting into any of that yet because I'm going to get into it in a bit. Those connections on his knees look like CW connectors. Someday I wish we get a new Thunderclash toy. Actually, you know what, Caldeo? I would like to have a new Thunderclash. I actually agree with you, man. I am right there with you. There's a lot of characters, and I'm like, why are you doing these again? Like Menasor. Why? 7 years ago, we got Menasor. Whether you like it or not, we've gotten it within 7 years. When was the last time we had Thunderclash? When was the last time we had the Throttlebots? I always go to the Throttlebots. When was the last time we had the Omnibots? You know, I'm just saying, when was the last time we had the Predators or the Accelerators? There's so many that have like never been updated or not in a long time that I personally would prefer. But that's just me. What do I know? Hey, Grimlock Gone. We go down here a little bit. Hope the Legacy Twin Twist rumor. We're going to talk about that Twin Twist. It's not a Twin Twist per se, I don't think. I'm gonna get into that too. You guys are getting ahead of me in the chat. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Stay tuned. We're gonna get there. Okay, so few things that I got to note. Shoplifting apparently from a few sources has increased here in Canada fairly exponentially, as a matter of fact. And a lot of retailers are blaming it on prices being too high, and that people want the items, but either don't want or can't afford the prices. And the most recent prices came down. A couple of notes here from a couple of sources. It looks like the new Commander, that being Motormaster, is going to range between $124 on Amazon up to $134 to $139 at many regular retailers. That's, I mean, you're talking $140 for a truck that most people are saying looks like the Optimus Prime that retailed for $70. And I look at the Menasor and I think, or the Motormaster, I think that's good for $70. I don't see no 140. I don't see double that price. I'm not seeing it. Sorry. 134. Also, Legacy EV red card. I don't know what that means. I don't know if EV is evolution. I don't know. Legacy EV red card for $47.99. Now, that's an interesting one as well. I have been talking a lot about price in the last little while, saying that Voyager has been went from $39.99 to $44.99 to $49.99 to $54.99. It seems like things aren't selling for those prices. So because the market isn't supporting those prices, they are falling again. It seems like the Voyager is going to settle at maybe around $47.99 for now. Still too high. And here's what I don't get. So I bought Tigatron. Well, no, not Tiger Train. He's not a good example. I bought Dinobot. Dinobot was at the time $39.99. Actually, mine was mistakenly priced at $29.99, which I think is what a Voyager should be anyway. But the going rate for a Voyager when I bought it was $39.99. That Dinobot is still on the shelf. And I've explained before, it went from $39.99 to $44.99. That Dinobot is still on the shelf, and now it's gone from $44.99 to $47.99. Somebody please here, because everybody always attacks me and says, don't complain about the prices. Somebody please explain to me, if a product didn't sell and stayed on the shelf at $39.99, and then you up the price because that's your strategy, and it didn't sell at $44.99, why would you again go and up the price to $47.99 when it's not selling? I'm just saying the definition of insanity is doing the exact same thing and expecting a different result. I don't, they're going to go on clearance. As a matter of fact, speaking of clearance, the Beast Wars Optimus Primal reissue now on clearance at Walmart here for $40. And everybody's saying the exact same thing. The clearance price is what the regular retail price of that should have been. It should have been $40. Why they were selling it for $70, nobody knows. Draculus, another very interesting example. Draculus was released for $72.99 here. And then I noticed GameStop do something really interesting. They put it on sale with one of them red tags on it for $49.99. And wouldn't you know it, I went there today and had a look, and there's no longer a red tag on it. It's back to just being your regular white tag. But now that regular white tag is $49.99, and it's still not selling. Why? Because Mindwipe was $16.99. Why are you trying to sell Mindwipe with a new Dracula head and a cape for $50? It's not. It was less than 20. Taxes in it was like $18. I can see the Dracula finally selling for $30 Canadian. When it gets to that on clearance, it'll sell for that. But that's all it's worth because it's a nifty little novelty. And that's all it really is a nifty novelty. It's not a high-end collectible. It's a nifty novelty. It looks like Deluxe, I have said, went up and became like $36.99 to $42.99. It seems like neither of those prices are really succeeding too well. They have dropped it back now to $35.99 in many retailers. And I think that's where it's going to settle until they realize it's not selling for that either. But I think that's where they're going to try and settle it. So some very interesting movements going on, I think, with price. And the market is speaking. A lot of people are saying to me, this stuff from Hasbro is selling like hotcakes. Maybe in the US, that's the only country that I ever speak to anyone where they say stuff is flying off the shelves. I have yet to speak to any other country where they say stuff is flying off the shelves. I'm not rushing to get Legacy because guess what? I don't have to. It ain't going to sell that fast because it's overpriced. That's not me ranting about price. I just think it's interesting to see that they're falling in the international market. I don't know if it's happening in any other country. I'd love to hear from Portugal and know what the prices are like there. I don't know what it's like in the UK, where there have been reports that prices were lowered for the War for Cybertron line anyway. I talked a lot about some speculation on this and that maybe all of this like price wildness is deliberate. Maybe it's a deliberate move by Hasbro. Talked about that with patrons and channel members in a little bit of speculation, and all of them seem to kind of agree with my thinking on it. It's not factual. It's just speculation, but I thought it was an interesting little game of connect the dots to play. So keep those kind of prices in mind. $47.99 Canadian, $35.99 for Deluxe. Keep those sort of in mind as we go through here. I think they're going to settle on that. I think I'm going to end up doing a lot more waiting for stuff to go on clearance or sale because that's just me. If you see that value, cool. And that's all I'm going to say about that. APC Arachnid. I pre-ordered that like that. I love the character of Arachnid. Love the character of Arachnid. I think she's slightly tall for my collection, but I think it's okay because most of the time, I'm not going to lie, I'm probably going to have her in that mode with her spider legs down. Anyway, the Prime Arachnid, we all know that thing is hot garbage. Nice helicopter mode, but the robot mode is hot garbage. I was smitten with the look of this right away. So that at some point will be coming. And my other one, I'm not even going to sell it. I'm just going to throw it away. It's not worth selling. That Arachnid is not worth selling. It's that bad. So absolutely happy about that. We have some G1 Grimlock screen prints that are up. 2 in his Dino mode, 1 in his robot mode. They look cool if you like art. It's really as simple as that. BotBots. I love the pizza race car. Just saying it. I don't know what it's called, but a race car that's a slice of pizza, I think is fantastic. Love the look of it. Fans Toys showed off a like a toy accurate coloration of their Galvatron. Who cares? They showed off a toy accurate version of their Astro Train. Who cares? From what I can gather, nobody's that interested in either of them. In fact, from what I can gather and from what I've heard, more people are kind of complaining and saying, I don't want those. I don't want those repaints. You know what I want? Give me the rest of the Stunticons. Or is it Wild Rider maybe that got to come? Is it Dead End? I'm not sure. But like people are kind of like, complete your combiner. Forget about these toy accurate decos that nobody really cares about. Though I do think that the Galvatron looks slick. I don't like the Astro Train. I do think the Galvatron looks slick. And there's an argument to be made for getting it as Galvatron 2. Or the Marvel Comics Galvatron. Very weird that people are complaining about that. Usually nobody complains about Fans Toys and says everything they do is fantastic. But people really kind of want that Menasor done from what I can gather. What else do we have here? Shattered Glass was on location Tuesday with a couple of reveals. Shattered Glass Ultra Magnus. And immediately everybody complained and said, Shattered Glass Ultra Magnus is really the laser prime body with that skull head. So, yeah. This Shattered Glass Magnus is the Kingdom body with the skull head. So it's the wrong body, but the reason Hasbro did it is so they could give you a second head. And if you didn't even want to use it as Shattered Glass, you could always just use it as Delta Magnus, if you care about Delta Magnus. Here's what I'll say about it. I feel like its pricing is accurate. I feel like it's a true blue leader. I've said that before. And now, on top of being a true blue leader, it has the mass, it has the paint, the color, and all that. It even now has 2 heads. It has extra accessories. So, like, I think it's worth it. Am I getting it? I don't know. Because, honestly, I said I don't need a huge Shattered Glass cast. I got 6 Autobots now and only 2 Decepticons. I don't know. I'm not blown away by that Ultra Magnus mold. Like, my Ultra Magnus is still my Combiner Wars one. There's a reason I didn't buy it, right? Will I buy it for this? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not rushing to do it. Let me put it to you that way. Then we also saw the Blaster. Everybody is blown away by the Blaster and thinks it's an amazing mold. I think it's an all right mold. Like, I'm not blown away by it. It's pretty good. I'm happy with it. I'm definitely happy with it. But I mean, I got a couple of add-on kits on it now. I do think that the Shattered Glass repaint looks beautiful. I'm not even going to lie. I really, really do. But again, both of those are Autobots. I'm kind of like, I have 6 Autobots. I don't know if I need them, to be honest with you. I'm not looking for 100 Shattered Glass Autobots or anything like that. What I need is 3 or 4 more Decepticons. That's really what I need. I'm just saying, like, where's the Soundwave with his green bandana thing? Just throwing that out there. So I think that they look great. But the body of Magnus is wrong. The head looks really cool. I think the blaster looks stupendous. I just wish we had had more Decepticons revealed instead of 2 more Autobots. Not a big deal. Now, I will say this. Besides for the Delta Magnus, there's another nice little Easter egg with the Magnus. That is the smaller robot is the Blue Optimus with the black head and the black legs. Actually, I talked about him last week, known as Magna Convoy. So you actually have Magna Convoy, Delta Magnus, and Shattered Glass Ultra Magnus all in one. There's a lot of value there. I can get behind it. I like it. I can get behind it. I just don't know if I need it. Amazon has an exclusive 3-pack of what's basically Rescue Bots, Dino Rescan, I don't know, Optimus Prime, Grimlock, and Bumblebee. Do you want a 3-pack of Rescue Bot molds? I don't. Maybe you do. They're on Amazon. I think they're $30, maybe Canadian, maybe it's $30 US. I don't know. It's not for me. It might be for you. MMC showed off a G1 version of their Death Source, and it's the Death Source that they released before, but this one is a more G1 colors. It's pretty much the same thing except brighter. If you wanted like a brighter palette, then this is pretty much the way to go. Some people have said maybe they should do their Star Saber the same way. Maybe, but all you're really doing is taking their already kind of tremendous Star Saber and lightening up the red and lightening up the blue and probably putting on a little bit of extra like yellow highlights. Outside of that, I don't, if you already have their Death Source, I don't think you need this version of Death Source, but it does look beautiful and the paint is very metallic and very gorgeous. And I everything I know about the mold, it's a great mold. So, and I like MMC. MMC is great. What else do we have here? Authentics Wheeljack is out in the US if you want it for some reason. So are some Bumblebee one-step changers. Meanwhile, here in Canada this week, it was seen in Ontario that the Wave 1 Legacy Deluxes are out. So they're finally beginning to trickle into our country. They will all retail here. I'm thinking at most retailers, a couple might be off, but most of them I think are going to retail for $35.99. I think that's where they're going to end up settling because the higher price points just not selling. It's not happening, man. I'm not sure if it's going to work at 35. I still think they're struggling at 29, to be honest with you. But I think they're going to try to settle at 35. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. Like for those of you who got it, 35 Canadian right now, I think is about 28 US roughly. Is kickback worth 28 US? Is skids worth 28 US? Is drag strip worth 28 US? That's plus tax, right? I think that's about where we are. What else do we have here? We saw more of the studio series to toy things. I think that those are really cool. We saw Grindor. Speaking of Grindor, that was mentioned earlier. What can I say? The screen one is more blue than gray, but I like the look of the Studio Series one better. The screen one is also shorter than the Studio Series one, which I found very weird. Here's the funny part. I think the Studio Series Grinder or Blackout are decent representations of what we had on screen, but not perfect. But I think they're better than what we had on screen, if that makes any sense. I actually like the look of the Studio Series better than the actual on-screen model. Take that for what you will. We also saw Dino. Dino, the toy is extremely true to on-screen, with the only difference really being that the Dino toy has a very bright kind of cherry red compared to the like more darker like Tuscan red of the film one. Jolt. I'm not going to lie. Studio Series Jolt, if you didn't tell me it was Jolt, I wouldn't have known. It is not good. I've never thought it's good. The blue is far too dark. There's far too much blue instead of gray. And what's with all of the like junk behind his shoulders? He doesn't have that. That's not, no. I don't think Jolt's good. There you go. I just said it. I don't think Jolt's good. Ravage, however, looks tremendous. Very, very good. His little like hip blaster things are just gray in the toy. They should have a bit of red and white paint on them at least, just to color them up a little bit. But it's definitely not hateful. The Ravage, big, big success. And we saw what I'm going to say is B127 rather than Bumblebee. And again, it's pretty good. I've heard that the B127 is based on the truck or the Jeep, mold, reshelled or whatever. I actually like that Bumblebee. I think it's the most successful Bumblebee they've ever done. So I assume, though I've never looked at it, I assume that B127, I assume that mold is tremendous. I really do, because I actually really loved the Jeep and thought it was a lot of fun. I think it was the best they did. So I think B127, if it's based on that, probably the same thing. Much more of a rich, lush yellow rather than the more like faded, pale, washed out yellow of the movie. I like the Studio Series one more because it's a deeper color. Take that for what you will. Let's see. Oh, we also saw this week G2 Core Class Megatron. I didn't get the G1 Core Class Megatron because I didn't see the sense in Megatron that tiny. But if you do, I guess it's okay. I've heard good things about it. He has a lot on his back like a tank. I actually think the mold works better for G2 Megatron. I don't think it looks bad. It's just, I got the Selects G2 Megatron and I don't need the core. I literally have no need to get the core. It would serve no purpose for me, but it might for you. I'm not going to say don't get it. I'm going to say it has to be a size class that works for you. It's nice, honestly, to have it small. If you're a Legends collector and you're like, I really like a G2 Megatron, this is your chance. And I think it's a good mold for it. It's just not for me. But again, not everything got to be for me, right? If you dig it and you like that core class, I think it looks splendid. I love how the green and purple pop. Let's see. Oh, Pterosaur. So many people disappointed that they did not get Pterosaur. And I said, guys, chill out. I've heard that. And I said this months ago, maybe even a year ago. I heard that there's going to be a toy accurate version of Pterosaur. And indeed, there is. It's quite accurate. About the only imperfection I can see is that the upper arms are still red on the new one. And they should be black. If you want toy accuracy, it would be easy to take that. If you're somebody who's like, I missed out on the show accurate one, I'll get the toy accurate one, but I wish it was show accurate. Easy to paint it. Simple paint job. Throw on some silver, get yourself a nice bright red. It's the easiest paint job in the world, I promise. Um, I will note, however, a lot of people point out to me and they said, I think the pterosaur was misassembled. I said, I don't think so. And they said, yeah, those hollow square blocks on the top of his wing aren't supposed to be there. And I said, but they're there in the stock photography. They're there in the renders. Like they're there. I think that's the way they're supposed to be, as odd as that is. Well, wouldn't you know it, they're actually turned around on the toy accurate version. And yeah, the wing looks seamless. Obviously, it was an assembly error. I stand corrected. Who knew, right? Who knew I could actually stand corrected? But I do stand corrected. It is an assembly error. I'm not getting the toy accurate one. I always wanted one that was show accurate. Now I got that, so I'm happy. I love the mold. I don't have any of the QC issues that people have had. Now, that being said, before you jump for joy and say, I can't wait to get that pterosaur, I got a funny feeling that that pterosaur is going to be part of a 4-pack. Here in Canada, that 4-pack is going to be $114.99. And I've heard, this could be wrong. Pterosaur could be his own complete release. He's red, so it could be a Target exclusive buzzworthy Bumblebee thing, right? I get it. But the 4-pack, and I think it's a buzzworthy Bumblebee 4-pack, I've heard that it's going to be Pterosaur in there. I've heard it's going to be a redeco of Waspinator, the Kingdom Waspinator, as Parasite. I've heard that we're going to have Goldbug in there, which is going to be the Siege Cliff Jumper mold. And I've heard that the last one, that the fourth one that's going to be in that set is going to be, hold on, I just need to look at my notes for a second and find it. Parasite, Pterosaur, Goldbug. Oh, and the fourth one, and this was mentioned earlier, I don't think we're getting a Legacy Twin Twist. I think that that's going to actually be Saltman. I think it's going to be that Twin Twist mold. I think it's going to have the head, but it's going to be colored, I think, in Diaclone colors, and I think it's going to actually have the name of Saltman. So I think it's going to be Saltman, Parasite, Goldbug, and Pterosaur. That's what I'm predicting. We'll see if I'm right. I could be wrong, but that's the rumor that I've heard is going to be the 4-pack. Honestly, fairly solid 4-pack. I mean, for me, I don't really need the Parasite one, but okay, I guess. I'd like the Goldbug. I'm okay with having a Saltman because I'm not going to lie. I think that, again, you talk about value for money and engineering and everything. I think that Twin Twist and Topspin were genius innovations in engineering for $17.99 Canadian. For me paying less than $20 for what I got in my hand, for how it moved for less than $20 Canadian, that was impressive. That was special. That was value for money. That really blew me away. And man, do I long for those days. So I think that's what we're going to get. $114.99 Canadian seems a bit high. I'm feeling more like $85 would be an appropriate price. So, being about $30 over, that sounds about right for Hasbro. So, I mean, it is what it is. That's what I've heard. Take that for what you will, but that's the 4-pack I've heard. For those, again, who didn't hear me, the 4-pack that I've heard is going to be Parasite from the Waspinator mold, is going to be Goldbug, not Shattered Glass Goldbug, just regular Goldbug, is going to be Toy Accurate Pterosaur, and is going to be Saltman. That's what I've heard. Don't take it to the bank at all. What else do we have here? Cyber Shark reissue is out in the US. So if you're a Beast Wars fan, Cyber Shark is out. Happy hunting for that. What else do we have here? Oh, another O1 Studio Cell is being released. So we had the original one, which is the one kind of behind my shoulder here that I don't think. Oh, no, you can see it. In fact, there's a picture of him gone up this week because the top 10 question I'm asking this week is who are the best heralds of Unicron. I think it was TF Fan Geek maybe who actually suggested it, and I thought it was a great one, so I went with it. And then they released one that had a much deeper orange and kind of more silvery gray, and they call that one Pumpkin. This one seems to have very similar to the shade of orange here, like a paler orange, but instead of the bluishness, it has more grayish to it, at least in planet mode. Robot mode is largely identical to this. The panels on the chest and the hips seem gray, but other than that, it's pretty much the same. And I've heard that the price on the new one is much more reasonable. I don't know if that's true. Mine was really special. I got mine when it was still Zeta. I got mine for 250 US, which at the time went round out to $302 Canadian. It was a tremendous price for it. It skyrocketed after that, as we all know. I've heard that the newest version is the best priced version. I don't know if there's any truth to it, but if you've been wondering about O1 Studio Cell, the new version might be worth looking into. Just saying. It's tremendous. It really is. It's a wild feat of engineering, and it takes a ton of practice, but it's pretty glorious. I'm not gonna lie. Surprised to see that, but man, they're getting their money's worth out of it. I'll give them that much. Queen Studio showed off their Jetfire Optimus Prime and Megatron statue, as well as their movie Megatron on a throne. Looks like it's the Dark of the Moon Megatron because of the tires and stuff that's on him, and his face looks kind of all jacked up. Both of these are statues. They're hyper, super detailed. They're beautiful pieces of art. I'm not an art collector, but if you are, Queen Studio is doing something real special here. Real special. They're busts, but they're not gigantic, but they're intensely detailed. I'll say that. Newage showed off their Legend Cyclonus that's based on the Lost Light design. He's 12.1 centimeters tall, comes with 2 swords. He looks great. I mean, he's Cyclonus, right? It's hard to make Cyclonus not look good. It's just a good design, honestly. Whatever version you want, it's just a good design. I'm not even a comics guy, but like it's a good Cyclonus design. I'm not gonna lie. What else do we have here? Oh, there's a stationary folder. Okay, so this is one of those pieces of news that I think is like real shady. So apparently, there's this Russian retail site that has this stationary folder put up for sale, and Optimus Prime is on it. And apparently, it's Optimus Prime as he's going to look in Rise of the Beast. And apparently, this is the first piece of licensed merchandise for the movie to be released. That's a lot. That's a lot. All that seems shady to me. I looked at it and said, that looks like Bumblebee movie Optimus Prime, and that was it. I don't know if it's Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime, but there's a movie Optimus Prime on a stationary folder. Before you ask, what's a stationary folder? Put paper in it. That's what it's for. Stationary's paper. Put paper in it. Maybe a nice pen. Maybe a calculator. Just saying. It's one of those weird ones. Unimetal showed off their Galvatron and their Rodimus. The Galvatron, he has a big helmet. I don't like the head sculpt on it. Not a fan. The face is too small. The helmet's too big. But other than that, that Unimetal Megatron looks pretty great. Then we get to the Rodimus. And it looks like there's 2 heads. It looks like there's 2 fin pieces. It even looks like his arms change because I'm going to call it hot rod mode, like the tires are there. And then in Rodimus mode, they're not. It's wild. It's all one, but it looks like 2 different versions of the character. I assume all of that is probably held on with magnets. Knowing Unimetal, it's probably all held on with magnets. But man, oh man, does it look beautiful. I honestly think that the Rodimus looks better than the Galvatron. Really, really do. If you're in for the Unimetal stuff, which is hyper expensive, it's hyper high end. If you're in for it and you can only afford one, get the Rodimus. I think it's the better deal than the Galvatron. Flame Toys showed off their Acid Storm. We all know the Flame Toy Seekers. This is it in green. We're going to go back to the Tuesday stuff in just a second because that's the only piece of news left. But I'm going to check in with you guys first. What's the time looking like? Oh, we're making good time. I'm going to go back and check all of this. Then we're going to do the Tuesday stuff. And then we're going to do the trivia. And then we're going to do the unboxing stuff down here. And there's, hold on. Let me pull that stuff over here. There's a few things here. A couple of new, couple of old. It'll be weird. It'll be a weird unboxing. Not going to lie. It'll be a weird unboxing. Let's see what you guys are saying. I'm going to go up here a bit. How far up do I need to go? Let's see. Oh man, I'm way up. How much did I okay, I think it was about here. So Brian, yeah, when I left the comment, you were saying hope that the legacy twin twist rumors are true. I think the mold is coming out. I think it's part of that 4-pack, and I think it's going to be Saltman. If you don't have twin twist, get the 4-pack just for that. It's that good of a mold, that good, honestly. Let's see. How about that super overpriced Robocent Optimus trailer that goes? You know what's really interesting? I'll mention this now because Sovereign just mentioned it. The trailer for that auto converting Optimus Prime. I remember when that was announced and came out, and like the pre-orders for it like sold out like that for 700 US and went nuts, and everybody was saying like, "This is my dream come true." And I said, "It's cool novelty." I'd have it a week and I'd be done with it because I actually want to manipulate my guys. I don't need them to do it all themselves. The trailer comes out, and I saw it, and I was like, "Huh, look at that. That's pretty neat to go with Optimus." I'm not gonna lie, and I'll talk about it now because there's actually a lot to note with it. It is an auto converting trailer that can stand up on its own. It has another voice clip from Peter Cullen in it. It's 3 feet long, so it's big, real big. You need quite the house or the yard or the road or something to drive it down. 3 feet long. Roller is an RC car. I like that. A remote control roller, I think, is pretty darn neat. The trailer stands up. There's a little spike included. And Roller can tow the trailer. And I haven't heard one soul talk about it. No one. I haven't heard anybody mention it. I haven't heard anything about pre-orders. I haven't heard of it selling out. It's like it came out and people were like, okay, great. Moving on with my life. I just find it interesting that the Optimus had such fanfare and the trailer don't. It's interesting. It's interesting to me. Legacy G-Axis does look great. Now, like I look at that now I bought the deluxe. I don't know G-Axis. I don't know the comics, or I didn't know G-Axis. I do now. He's actually fairly important. Actually, he's very important in season 2 of Universal Collision because of his mass displacement device. And I look at the new one, and I like the deluxe. It's fine. And I look at the new one. I'm like, man, that's beautiful. And then I immediately thought, but is it $47.99 beautiful? Is it $50 beautiful? I don't know, man. I'm looking at it and I'm thinking it's great for $30. I don't know. I don't know. It's beautiful, but again, I love it. I love the idea of it. I don't like the value proposition being made. Does that make sense? Like I love the product. I think it looks great. I think it looks beautiful. I don't think the value proposition makes sense for it. I think it should be a lower value proposition. Okay, but it is gorgeous. I'm with Devlin. It's a beautiful G-Axis, and people have said like he looks wild, but that's how he's supposed to look. The orange is actually inaccurate. Well, it's inaccurate to the most recent way that he looks. This is the way it's supposed to look, right down to that gaudy, wild, goldy yellow. That's exactly the way it's supposed to be, you know. And I mean, this is a villain that like took it to Optimus and Megatron. Like he is a significant threat. Like I feel like I'm going to get him, but I feel like it's going to be on sale. Hey, Razor Bear, Motormaster will definitely be retooled as Thunder Clash. Just look at the gunner platform for the. If it's retooled as Thunder Clash, cool, I guess. I feel like the robot should be bigger, or if it's Thunder Clash, maybe he should be able to combine with the trailer or something. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see, but it could be a Thunder Clash. Possibly. You could be right, Razor Bear. I could see that. Super cool, but I would never drop 140 for 1400 for Optimus and a trailer. Yeah, I mean, like that's a lot, man, for a thing that does everything by itself. So all you're sitting there doing is looking at it. If you want to look at Optimus do things by himself, watch the show. Just throwing it out there. I hope so. I love Thunder Clash. Rodimus said he skipped Combiner Wars, and I got a full page of SS86 and Legacy, and noticed that things have been based on Prime Wars Trilogy. Oh yeah, there's a bunch that they're based on Prime Wars Trilogy because they're reusing stuff. Robosten looks cool, but 1500. Just found out something amazing. Armada Megatron's waist-mounted cannon is a callback to the G1 Megatron toy. Oh yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I never thought of it before, but now that you say it, G-Axis does look nice. Definitely agree with you. Being a younger collector, no way would I spend that much. Man, that sucks. Motormaster is that much. It's like 140 is nuts. I look at it and like, here's the thing. I don't look at it. I know that the character, the actual guys, they said the same size as this. This is how big Motormaster is. Now I know he comes with a trailer and all that stuff, but I'm struggling to look at this and say it's $140. Really struggling. With the trailer and stuff, I see 70 bucks. 70 Canadian. I could buy it. I could buy it for 70 Canadian. 70 plus tax, 75. It'd be steep, but I could buy it. I don't see 140. I don't see 130. I don't see 100. I don't see it. I don't know what they're smoking to come up with these prices. I really don't. But I don't think it's sustainable. Just saying. 79.99 American for Motormaster. Yeah, I think that's too much for an American. He's great for 50 bucks American. He's not an $80 American toy. He's good for maybe even 60. I'll even give him 60. It's not 80. I mean, here's the thing. Explain again. Somebody please explain to me. How is it the Jetfire was regular at first $119.99. I got him for 76 Canadian because he was on sale. But $119.99. Explain to me how Jetfire is $119.99 and this Motormaster is $139.99. I don't understand how Jetfire is cheaper than this Motormaster. I don't get that. Maybe you do, but I'm not following that. I'm not following that train of thought. Red card equals Target red card exclusive. Yeah, but whenever there's a Target red card exclusive here, it's going to go, or there, it's going to go to Toys R Us here. And it's still listed as red card. 70 bucks with the trailer makes sense because it's base mode. That you're saying 70 with the trailer makes sense. Yeah, because of the skeleton Minosaur. Yes. 70 with the trailer makes sense. Not 80 plus tax. I don't even think 70 makes sense. I disagree with you, Caldillo. 60 US makes sense, not 70. Let's see. I get the complexity, but it's an unrealistic product for the majority. 29.99 was lucky for $29.99 at the time is what a deluxe was going for. So I got my Voyager Dinobot for deluxe price. It was great. I'd be willing to go 90 for Motormaster, 125. I'm canceling all my Minosaur bots. Forget that crap. Yeah, I mean here's the thing. As imperfect as the Combiner Wars Minosaur is, and he's pretty darn imperfect. I did a ton of work with mine. Mine's pretty stable. I've used him a bunch of times. I can move his arms around. He's fine. But I paid 120 all in, taxes, everything. $120, everything in. This new one is going to be 300 Canadian before taxes. Again, somebody here, please explain to me where there's 3 times the value, where there is a 200% increase in price. Where is the 200% more value? I'm not seeing it. I'm sorry. I think it looks very G1 accurate. I think it's very clever and unique what they're doing with the whole skeleton thing. He's not a combiner. Let's not call him a combiner because that's a lie. What he is a naked baby Minosaur skeleton who puts on his clothes, and his clothes are all the other Stunticons because he can exist just fine without none of them. None of them are needed. A combiner, you need them. He doesn't need any of them. It's a neat idea, but I think it's pretty lazy engineering. And I don't see how lazy engineering, where a combiner doesn't even need all of his bots to combine. I don't understand how that's considered 200% more value. That's baffling me. I can't wrap my head around, but that's me. If you skipped the Combiner Wars or you totally hated it or you didn't do the mods, cool. Here's what I would say. If the Motormaster, just the Motormaster, could connect with my Combiner Wars limbs, then I would consider getting the Motormaster when he goes on deep discount sale or clearance. because I feel like that'll give him his price that he should be. Because the torso of the Combiner Wars Minosaur should be replaced. I don't know what the scale of this is. I heard, and I've been saying all along, 18 inches. Doesn't look like it was what the guy held up. So maybe the information that came my way was bad information, but that's what I heard. I don't know exactly how big he is. If he doesn't scale with Combiner Wars, then he's useless to me anyway, because I'm not doing a whole new scale and going all in. Now that $300 a combiner, that's nuts. So it sounds like I'm hating on it. I'm not. I think that if you're in for it, cool. Know what you're getting into. I don't think anybody should be supporting any of these price points with Hasbro. I think everybody says, like, if you like it, then it's worth it. No, that's not how business works. Business works with math. They have objective measures where they know this is the money we put into it. We want a 5,000% profit. This is what we're going to charge to get that 5,000% profit. Well, guess what? If the market doesn't support it, then they're going to go back. Rather than go to business, they're going to go back and say, maybe we should try 4,000% profit, because 5,000 didn't work. And if you don't believe me, case in point, $42.99 and $36.99 are not really working in Canada. So they're dropping it back to $35.99. Bet you it's going to drop again. $54.99 and $49.99 aren't really working. So they're dropping it back to $47.99. The market dictates. Don't ever think that a company tells you the price. You're the customer. You tell the company the price. Never forget that. You're the one in the power, and you're the one in control. You, each and every one of you have the decision-making ability. Prices jumped here. Deluxe has jumped to $22.99. Then don't pay it. Send them a message and say, nope, that's too high. It's time for you to bring them down, boys. Voyager 32. It's like Voyager's in 32 US. A Voyager should be 32 Canadian. Later jumped to 52. That's those prices. The prices that Dragonfly just said should be the Canadian prices, not the US prices. Hey, Brian. Also, I got a new price for Titan. Remember, we were talking about the Titan price going up in the US to $189. New Titan price in Canada is going to be $299, which means Cybertron Metroplex, which is what they are saying is going to be the next legacy Titan, is going to be $299.99. Black Zarek that I opened here last week that I reviewed, Black Zarek was $200 for me. So it's an increase. Now I got my Black Zarek a bit cheaper. I'm not going to lie. I did have a discount and stuff, but regular he was $230. This is going up $100 basically, $70 for sure. Like, I find it hard to believe that what comes next is going to be better than Scorponok and Black Zarek, because they're pretty darn tremendous. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. But 300 Titan, I'm out. I'm not even going to. I'll tell you now. I'm done. I'm done with Titans. Got 3 sweeps on sale at Target. Nice, $60. That's good. 3 sweeps for $60. That's a great price, and for a great mold. The Minotaur thing, I do like the drag strip is only 22 British pounds. So hopefully the rest of the Carbots are priced the same. I agree with you out about Logan. I would ask you, what is the Minotaur? Because that's going to be the linchpin for you. Hey, Nate. Luckily got the Legacy Wave on Amazon for the same price as the earlier Kingdom stuff. Oh, nice. Nice. If you got it for the earlier Kingdom stuff, then that's even better. Other than Minotaur, he was the new price. Kingdom is flooding Kingdom's gonna flood the shelves. Like, I'm not worried about pre-orders. I'm not worried about having to go out every day and do a hunt. It's not gonna sell, and I don't even know exactly when they're gonna come here, because the shelves are still full of Cyberverse, full of Studio Series, full of Kingdom, and chock-a-block full of Red, because Red is not selling. I don't know where they're gonna put Legacy, to be honest with you. And it's not just Transformers. Like, I don't see G.I. Joes being stocked anymore. I don't see them being stocked because they all went on deep discount. WWE stuff tends to sell. I think that might be Hasbro. Is it? I don't know. I don't even know who does that. You know what does get restock and sell? Masters of the Universe. Why? Because they haven't gone up at all. They're still $14.99. A couple of them are $19.99, but they're still under $20. And the new reissue Ninja Turtle stuff. Why is the reissue Ninja Turtle stuff $14.99? When I was a kid, it was $9.99. So in 30 years, the reissue Ninja Turtle stuff has gone $5. Why did the Optimus Primal reissue, for example, double in price from $35 to $70? Like, why can one company do a reissue for $5 more, but Hasbro does that reissue for double the price? I don't get it. I'm sorry. Don't get it, man. You're not the first to complain. As another YouTuber known as someone, okay, who lives in Australia and complained very loudly and mad for a small toy overpriced. That's the thing. You got to look globally. And it's very interesting what's happening, right? In Australia, here, very interesting. Ain't flying off the shelves in Mississippi. Interesting to note. Hasbro wanting to charge scalper prices. Yes. I really can't wait for APC Arachnid. I'm right there with you, Brian. It looks so good. So good. Hey, Warren. Is APC a 1-to-1 KO of the original? No. I wouldn't be buying it if it was the original. If it was the original Razor Bear. Would not be doing it. No. The APC, I think is a new mold. Actually, I think it's a new mold. Prices are pretty good. And Legacy so far isn't too overpriced. However, I think it's going to get more expensive. Fair enough. And I've heard that the UK is one of those countries where it's not too bad. Same with the US. I don't think your prices in the US are too bad yet. But guess what? Where you guys are now in prices is where we were in 2019. Look at where we are 3 years later. And if you've been here for any length of time, I've said it time and again, man, that Canada is 2 to 3 years ahead of the US. We're your future. So your next jumps are going to be inching toward what we got. Keep that in mind. Your deluxe is for $22.99. I don't think it's going to be long before they're $29.99, man. Just saying. Fans Toys just needs to admit they screwed themselves with all the diecast and the combiner is unstable. I agree, Razor Bear. I think that the reason that you haven't got that last combiner, remember, is it Dead End? I can't remember if it's Dead End or Wild Rider. I want to say Dead End. Apparently, he's coming with all the combiner parts, and I'm thinking he hasn't come because they don't know a way to make that thing stable. And if that Menasor comes out and it's not stable against all of the good stable Menasors there are, it will obliterate Fans Toys' reputation. They got a lot riding on the success of this Menasor. The Motu Transformers crossover Skeletor. That'd be interesting. I'm not blown away by the mold, which really sucks because I'd love to have an SG Ultra Magnus, given his major role in Shattered Glass, but the wider transform not in Shattered Glass, but the wider Transformers lore. I agree, Sam. Let's see. I don't collect Shattered Glass and don't feel I need to get it. I have 2 Shattered Glass Magnus figures on pre-order. Why 2? Oh, one for Shattered Glass Magnus, one for Delta Magnus. Yeah, I don't need 2 that's the exact same color. I don't get that. Like, you do what you want to do. But like, it's like when people buy 2 and they got, well, I have one car mode and one in robot mode. Isn't the point to transform it? Just throwing it out there. I have the Earthrise Blaster. He's cool. He is cool. I mean, I'm not like, oh my goodness, this is the most glorious thing ever. He's all right. He's fun. Hasbro should come out with some of these not so desired G1 characters. Yes. Even some G2 characters. I think everyone was disappointed with the Legacy Soundwave. The Legacy Soundwave. Everybody says, more of the Netflix Soundwave, more of the Netflix Soundwave, more of the Netflix Soundwave. So what did Hasbro give you? Well, they were going to give you the Siege one without all the battle junk on them that somebody like me took off anyway. So I went through all that effort to remove it. And here's the thing that somebody brought up to me because they said it about the Galvatron. In essence, if you get the Legacy Soundwave that's clean, in essence, you're paying more for essentially less paint apps. That cracked me up because it's so true. That said, the Legacy Soundwave or the Siege Soundwave is pretty great mold. Was really hoping it was the Netflix, as was everybody. Just got Earthrise Sunstreaker. Loving this figure. Love the Sunstreaker. Said it in the review earlier the week. I was shocked how much I love him. Most people were hoping it was either Prime Soundwave or the Netflix mold. Yes, you're right, Waspinator. I agree with you. Legacy Semi reissue cements the facts that Hasbro always listens to its fans. Yeah, they sure do. MMC ever released? Yes, MMC released a IDW colored inspired Death Source, and now they're doing it again with the G1 colors. Laser Prime is hit and miss, folks. It's complete miss for me. I never liked the design when it first came out years ago when I was 15 or whatever. Never liked it then. Have never liked it since. Don't like it now. Not that I think it's bad. I think it's pretty darn good. I've heard a lot of wonky stuff about the trailer. Imagine if the Menasor trailer is as wonky as the Laser Prime trailer. Makes me wonder how stable that combiner will be. I love it, but it's not without its issues. The new Elita 1 mold looks quite promising. I'm actually impressed by it. It's definitely better than the Netflix one. I'm sure it's better than the Power of the Primes, but I do love my Power of the Primes. But might be a definitive Elita. Not going to lie. Might be a definitive Elita. I'm doing great, Runas. Well, we're talking. I already talked about the Menasor, but I guess you already know that by now. And I don't hate it. I don't hate the Menasor at all. I'm not blown away. I'm not like, oh my goodness, this is so definitive Menasor. I'm looking at it saying, it should be that G1 accurate. It should be tremendous. It should be flawless for $300. And I bet you it won't be flawless because this is Hasbro. But it should be flawless for $300. And I think it actually should have been a combiner rather than naked baby skeleton Menasor putting on his clothes. Namely, his shirt made of dead end and drag strip and his Wild Rider slash what's the other dude's name? Breakdown pantaloonies. Just saying. Why would they listen to certain things like removing the battle damage? On Galvatron, make it to an accurate cliff jumper. They don't listen. People are saying, no, like, hold on, Brian. They don't listen. That's the joke. The joke is they don't listen. They just know people complained about battle damage. They said, oh, you know what? We can get people to buy this again. People didn't like the clear plastic. So they said, you know what? Let's give it solid plastic and paint it. People buy it again. People are suckers. And they know that too many collectors, are not hobbyists. They're addicts who need their fix. And they're the dealer that's giving you your fix. Be real careful. Like I say, they're a company. Hold them accountable, man. Not to mention Dino has a different car mode. Nah, you won't miss much, man. I'm going down here. Core class is not my cup. No, it's not my cup of tea for the most part. If it's a different character, a specific character that I think fits it, cool. But I'm not. There's a lot I'm not blown away with. Like, I don't need Seekers in core class. I don't need Optimus and whatnot. I did get the Rodimus in Kingdom, so I'm not getting the Legacy one. I reviewed it, but that's only because I wanted to go with Star Convoy. Netflix was a Walmart exclusive. That could be too. We kind of tempted to get Core Megatron. Well, you can. There's no reason you shouldn't. Hey, Jay. Jay definitely loves Menasor and everything from Wave 2, and he definitely is going to find it all first. Pterosaur, most well known for his iconic battle. What? Pterosaur, most well known for his iconic battle with Bumblebee. Who could forget? That's funny. I heard the Legacy 4-pack with Goldbug was going to have Cybertron Ransack. Maybe it will. That's not what I heard, but maybe. I haven't heard anything about Cybertron stuff except for in that Velocitron set. That's where I heard Ransack was going. I only want Twin Twist to go with my Titans top spin, as Twin Twist never came to the UK. I never saw Twin Twist often, and when I did see him, I picked him up. I got to be honest, I saw top spin more. Yeah, $80 American. That's what it was last time too. Sounds like Bill lies. We go down here real quick. I don't have any thoughts on Legacy Skids. I don't have it. It's like it only started to trickle into my country today. I haven't seen a review. I know nothing about it. So I can't comment on what I don't know. It's not in my country. It's not a part of my world yet. I'd like to see a Legacy Power Glide. I'm cool with my Combiner Wars Power Glide. Cybertron Ransack would be a Legacy RC mold. I don't know. Like, there's an example of like Cybertron Ransack. I don't know the character. I'm not getting it. I don't care about it. I have no connection to it. It's Unicron Trilogy. I couldn't be less interested. But I know that, for example, Blue knows what it is. He knows who the mold should be for it. So it's great to see it for somebody like that. Somebody mentioned earlier today that now with Legacy being multiversal, can't imagine where they got that idea from, that they could pull characters from anywhere in the multiverse. So I hope that different people get different things. I actually hope that it don't all have to be for me. I want to see a Legacy Commander class Thunderwing. Commander class? No, thanks. I'll stick with my Voyager one, thanks. That was a custom. Skids is cool, a bit bulky, but better than the Titans one. Oh, the Titans one was garbage. Let's do trivia and the unboxing. Trivia this week, because we've been here a long time, because we had a lot of news. And my wife is being very, very understanding. Is there anything that I missed from the Tuesday stuff? Elita 1, G-Axis, some of the Blitzwing is, I'm sorry, it's a good $40 Canadian Blitzwing. It is not an $80 Canadian Blitzwing. I'm not paying it. I couldn't be less interested in it. Tarantulas is tremendous. And then I heard he shares some parts with Black Arachnia, who I pretty much hated. So that nixed it. You lost the sale by telling me that it shares parts with what I deem to be, honestly, a pretty craptastic mold. I already can't wait for a new Black Arachnia. I pretty much hate it. But if you liked it, then cool. Get the new Tarantulas. For me, I look at it and I'm like, wow, that's super close to my 10th anniversary Tarantulas. So I think I'll just keep my 10th anniversary Tarantulas. Yay! If you don't have that one and you only had like the original or you had the Transmetal or something, do yourself a favor, get this one. But don't expect anything stupendous or amazing because it's shares stuff in Black Arachnia. And she's only he doesn't share. Actually, he does share parts. That's been stated, Nate. No, he's not an all new mold, bigger than her. He has a lot of new molding, but he does. That was stated. That was officially stated. Yes, he shares parts with Black Arachnia. Did I tear apart? Oh, I didn't tear apart. I don't need to tear apart Knockout. It doesn't really look like Knockout. But of all of the Prime adaptations, I think he's the most successful. Like the head is kind of Knockout. He does have his staff if you put those two pieces together. I mean, I look at his body. I'm like, it's not Knockout's body. It's obviously Red Jazz with Knockout's head. A lot of paint on it. I'll give credit where credit is due. A ton of paint on it. I already got the Jazz mold twice. I don't need it for Knockout. I'll just stick with my Beast Hunters one. Like, that's where I'm to with it. It's still it's still a stylized Knockout. It's not the Knockout I know. So I'm only about it. I don't hate it. I just don't need it. Which pieces? None of them look the same. Not the hands or the. I don't know what pieces, Nate. I'm telling you for a fact. Stop arguing. I'm telling you for a fact. It was stated officially by Hasbro, by that dude that does the streams and stuff. After the fact, it was stated. Yes, it shares parts with Black Arachnia. I don't care if you don't want to believe me. I don't care if you want to pick it apart. I'm telling you the facts. You ain't got to like them. Now give it up. Man, people get so defensive when I'm only telling you the facts. You ain't got to like it, but they're the facts. Legacy Knockout looks like a train wreck. It doesn't look like a train wreck. It just doesn't look like Knockout. What? I don't get why people did that weird thing with the characters. I don't know what you're talking about. Something is better than nothing, I always say. It's not we'll see, Nate. It shares parts. There's no we'll see. Now stop. I'm telling you a fact. You don't need to like it, but it is a fact. I don't care what parts it is. Black Arachnia is garbage. She was garbage. She was like one of the worst of last year on my list. She's not good. She certainly wasn't worth her price. If you like it, you got taken advantage of. So did I. I wanted to like her, and she's not good. Now stop it. I'm so sorry, Zoran, that the first time you come in here, I'm having to yell at someone. I've had a very long week, and I'm not interested in having to argue facts with people when they're facts. Not interested, man. Not interested. Um, I'm not saying she's good mold. I'm saying I didn't hear them say that. They didn't say it on the stream. It was stated after. I have sources in the news community, in the know. And I'm telling you that that dude that shows it all off, I'm telling you for a fact, he said that the tarantulas shares parts with black arachnia, as if that's a good thing. That's a fact. I'm not telling you my sources. You don't need to know. That would be betraying my sources. But I've told you guys, if you've been listening here for 3-4 years that I've been doing this, then I'm telling you now, you've heard me give a lot of news, a lot of times a good year out in advance. And a lot of it proves true. Not all of it, but a lot of it proves true. You don't have to believe it. You ain't got to. I don't care. Don't like it. But it's the truth. Man, oh man, oh man. People are so quick to attack because you got to justify to yourself. Stop it. If you want to get it, get it. If you like Black Arachnia, cool. I'm telling you, I thought she was garbage. And saying that something else shares parts with that is not a selling point for me. If anything, it makes me not want it because I thought she was that bad. That's me. You might think differently, and you're entitled to think differently. I'm not saying don't, but do not jump out down my throat for telling the facts. Not going to fly. Simple as that. Not going to fly. Let's do the trivia. I feel like more and more I'm having to defend stuff to people that are defenders, and it's bugging me. Honestly, it's really bugging me how everybody defends everything, including bad business. Be accountable, man. This is a weird one. I can't even tell you where it came from because I don't know who gave me the trivia. I can't tell you who gave me the trivia. Not a clue. Don't know who gave it to me. But I know it was one of you. I want to say Caldillo, but I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. Blitzwing. Might have been Waspinator. Blitzwing. In an early script of Five Faces of Darkness was going to be revealed as a Quintesson creation. That's why he said he thought he knew the Quintessons from somewhere. However, he was not going to be the first choice. Somebody else was slated to be that Quintesson creation. Who was slated to be that Quintesson creation before Blitzwing in an early script of the Five Faces of Darkness? Was it A, Bombshell? Was it B, hold on, I got to see this, Thundercracker? Was it C, Scrapper? Or was it D, Shockwave? Who was going to be a Quintesson creation? Obviously, it never happened, but who was going to be a Quintesson creation? Bombshell, Thundercracker, Scrapper, or Shockwave? Which one? D, 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 D. Yeah, you guys are brilliant. You guys know, man. You guys know. Yes, you guys know. I am not chill as a listen. I had recess and lunch duty today and no prep the day before Easter break after almost 4 months. No, I'm not in the mood to be arguing nonsense with people. When I give you facts, take them as facts. You ain't got to like them, but they're facts. And if they're not facts, I don't tell you they're facts. I tell you they're rumors. Hey, look at that. Hey, Tidarium? Is that how I say your name? Tidarium? What do I think about the fans' toys, KO, Lupus, and Quietus? They were successful molds for fans' toys. They will be more successful as KOs because people will say they're better priced. It's really simple as that. How will they fare? I don't know. I'm not a fans' toys fan. I'm not interested in them. I don't like the company. The only mold I ever experienced was Phoenix, and I thought it was awful. I hated it. So that was the end of me and fans' toys. Okay. All right. Man, we've been out here a long time. Core class, what? I'm surprised that you would not use more core class to match up with your Titans. No, thanks. I could see why people would, but it's a waste of money to me. Blitzy, keeping my Titans return. Yeah, me too. Now this ain't my trivia. Wasn't your I don't know where it came from. I had it screenshot, but I don't know who gave it to me. But you guys are right. Yes, absolutely, you guys are right. Okay, let's do the unboxing. Let's try and go on a high note. First, the old things. The old things are on loan to me to review by our buddy Maximal 10. And I'm going to go through this quick because, man, I've been on here too long. Not going to lie, way too long. The trivia was yours. There you go. Thank you, Caldillo. And you know what the funny part is? I missed it like last week, and I was like, I think Caldillo gave me trivia, and I lost it, but I found it. I'm like, oh, I hope it's Caldillo's. So I'm actually really glad it was yours. Here's the first thing, not even open. Wait till I show you this. Imagine how long this has been in package, and it is I'm going to call it Legends. I'm going to call it Legends Devastator from the movies. Remember this thing? This is unopened, like it's still tied down. And he told me, he said, open it, review it. So I'm going to get a chance to review that. A while ago, I looked at the KO of Studio Series Devastator. So it only seems right that we look at this old version of Devastator 2. Thank goodness there are no batteries in this thing for it to be screaming and yelling and bawling at me. They're all in that box. Like, right? They're all in that box. Bit of a wild box. I don't even know what that's off of. And also in this box, Maximal 10 likes to give me stuff to torture me. Remember this thing? This shockwave? Everybody's like, it's not a bad shockwave, but it has no knees, and the backs are really hollow. This came out here. I'm gonna review it. It's light. It doesn't feel bad per se, but like no bicep, no knee. It's a good looking shockwave. I'll give credit where credit is due. It's a good looking shockwave. The thing about the early script is that it makes sense for it to be shockwave. Yes, it does actually make sense for it to be shockwave. I agree. My brother got the Legends Devastator for his birthday years ago. He ain't transformed a lot, but he respects my interest. That's not a bad shot. It's not a bad shockwave. I would definitely suggest if you have it to get those knee upgrades, shapeways maybe. But if you got the knee upgrades, I think it's a great shockwave. Then I'm excited about this one. In fact, this is going to be tomorrow's review. Then we have, and I'm excited about this one. Studio Series Perceptor, and we're going to compare him to this guy, and I'm going to give you what Starscream Wife's thoughts were because they're actually really, really interesting. Cannot wait to look at this guy tomorrow. Really, really can't wait. And finally, so we got two Devastators, big and small, both of them real old. One of them still in package. Like, to me, that's bonkers wild. We got 86 Perceptor going to be tomorrow. Next week, probably the first review of next week is going to be our first true legacy figure from Wave 1, and it's going to be this guy. This is, of course, Iguanus. And I'm not going to lie, I didn't want the Skywarp. Got zero interest. Still got zero interest. Yes, I know the parts go together to make this sword thing. I don't care. I don't want it. I already got the Rodimus. I reviewed him not long ago. It's the Kingdom one, same thing in Legacy. But I really wanted Iguanus. Did he live up to my hopes and expectations? We will see. But I gotta say, I've been having a bundle of fun with this little guy. I've been having a bundle of fun with Perceptor too, to my shock, amazement, and awe. So we'll see Perceptor tomorrow. We'll see Iguanus next week. We have two Devastators and that wild Shockwave. And I'm going to tell you now, we already got next week's unboxing and the week after's unboxing, possibly the week after that's unboxing. So we got a lot up and coming. We have been here a long time, too long. My wife has been very patient and I love her dearly. All of you guys should thank her as well. Ladies and gentlemen, despite it all, it's been a wild, hairy week here. Whether we've agreed, whether we've disagreed, whether we're on the same page or on different pages, I certainly wish you and yours, your friends, your family, a very happy, healthy, safe Easter if you celebrate. If you don't, I just hope you have a tremendous weekend. I thank you for coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. Man, I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. You can check us out on Patreon. You can see what I have to offer to you through spring. Of course, you can hit the join button here anytime and become a channel member. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, stick around, have some fun with us. And to nutshell my Wave 2 legacy thoughts, I think that they look great, but I don't agree with the value proposition for any of them. I think all of it looks great. I think all of it's overpriced. It is what it is. Don't forget that somehow, some way, each and every day, whether your name is Tracer, whether your name is Ninja Bill, whether your name is Nate, whether your name is Logan, whether your name is Blue Raccoon, or any of you, Ultra Megatronus, Sovereign, any of you, don't forget that somehow, some way, all of you do make a difference each and every day. And I look forward, baby, to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams right here on Thursday nights at the stop motion premieres or the old fashioned way inside the videos.